Hello, I'm Greg. Welcome to my channel, Midnight Oil Software, and another video in my series on how to make educational games for Legends of Learning. In this video, I'm going to be talking about localization and text-to-speech. Localization is the technique to allow you to support multiple languages in your application. Basically, any displayed text, or in my case, also spoken text, you can have just your English text specified and then translate it automatically into other languages. So the way that Legends of Learning supports this is they give you this language.json file, which if you import the Language of Learning package, Unity package, you will get this streaming assets folder and it will contain a language.json. Now, as developers, we only need to supply the English text that we're going to display in our game. And Legends of Learning, when they receive your game submission, they will go ahead and translate it to Spanish. And they will add the Spanish entries for you. And so this is just a JSON file with a key value pair. So I have this key problem 57, and then the value is what times 9 equals 90. So any text that I'm going to display in the game or also convert to speech is going to be represented by one of these key value pairs in this file. So I have a little helper function here. Actually, I want to show you this one first. I just have this little class here. It's a singleton and it's called text speaker. And it has a method on it called speak, and you pass it in a text key. And that's going to be one of the keys from this language.json file. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Language of Learning SDK function speak text, which is going to go out to a service, look up the audio clip that's associated with that key for whatever language the student is playing in, and it will actually play that clip to an audio source. So if you're in the Unity editor, it's a little bit more complicated here. I've actually got to do the post myself and then get the clip and then tell the audio source to play it. But with a standalone build that is going to be what all your students are using, you just call this one function here, speak text, and pass in that key. I did want to show you something else that I did here. There's no reliable way to know how long it's going to take for that audio clip to play. So it can be kind of difficult to try and synchronize your speech to any activity on the screen. I'm going to demonstrate in my game how I have a tutorial, and for each page of the tutorial I will play some text, and I don't want to enable the next button until the text has finished speaking. But the best I can do is estimate how long that will take. And this little formula here was given to me by a friend of mine named Manny, who has also developed a couple of games for Legends of Learning. And Manny and I are in the same mastermind group together, so he shared this with me. Basically, you get the translated text using the key. And this is another Language of Learning function. I basically have a little property here that they give you where you get your language definitions, and then you ask it for the translated text. And then I take the length of that text and I multiply it by this little 0.0667. That will give me an approximate time in seconds that it will take for that audio clip to play. And the way I use that is in my classroom UI. I have a coroutine here that I basically do a yield return, wait for seconds, and I give it that clip length for that tutorial step key. And then at the end of that wait, I will enable the next page if there's any more pages in the tutorial. But let's go into Unity and I'll actually show you how that works. I'm just going to click play. And then I'm going to click New Game.
Welcome to the briefing room. We must protect our tasty munchies from the critters.
And you can see it enabled that button after that text finished playing.
Our only defense is to use our knowledge of basic multiplication and division.
So that's how that works. The other thing I want to show you is you'll notice here I've got all of this title text here. I've got button text. Essentially, all you do is anytime you want to display text in your game, I'm using Text Mesh Pro, and whenever I want to assign the text to the Text Mesh Pro object, I just make that same language defs call, giving it the key. It gives me back the translated text, and I can just assign it to my Text Mesh Pro variables. So that's how that works. The other thing I want to show you is you can get a little bit more sophisticated, and I have in my gameplay scene, if I go into my scenes here, and I have this scene called Garden, and then I'm going to additively load my UI scene. And in the UI scene, I have something called Gameplay Hints. And this guy actually has a number of elements in it, and I have a timeline animation in it. So I'm going to turn this on and go into my timeline tab, select this. Okay, I don't know why it took a while to refresh, but anyway, once I select this and I have my timeline tab selected, you can see that the timeline will enable different elements in my scene as it plays this animation. And on these elements here, I have another script called Speak Text. So Speak Text is just a component that I can add to any other component. And it will, when it's on enabled, it will call that text speaker class and say speak with whatever text key I assigned in this serialized field here. So as my animation plays and I enable these elements, they will automatically play the text associated with those elements. Now I'm going to go back into my garden scene, my main menu scene. And I'm going to play, and hopefully this will work. If I just pick continue here, it should remember where I had left off when I was testing this earlier.
Use the mouse to select a critter to see the problem you need to solve. Click the correct answer to scare away the critter.
So you can see from that I synchronize the playing of the text with some animations that I was doing in my game. And it's not going to be perfect. There can be some lag when it goes out to the service and says, give me the audio clip. But you can approximate how long it will take, and you can get kind of close with that synchronization. Well, hopefully you found that useful. And if you did, do me a favor and click that like and subscribe button. And if you have any questions or comments about anything I covered in this video, you can either drop a comment here on this video, or even better, go join my Discord server. I'll put a link in the description, and you can ask any detailed questions there, and I'll get back to you on that. Thanks so much for watching, and good luck on your game development journey.